Which Side Podcast is a proud member of the Which Side Media Collective.
Okay, I'm going to keep this really short and sweet. Due to a series of unforeseen events, we were unable to record this week's guest, and since we were doing it at the last minute, we had to throw this one together. This is actually one we were going to put up as bonus content this week, but we promised to bring you that same guest and hopefully double post in the next week or so. So we'll have 2 new episodes coming up for you. So let's get right to it. There'll be no outro. So right now you're listening to The Ping Island Scene in The Life Aquatic with Steve Zissou by Mark Mothersbaugh. Fucking love this song. Anyways, sorry that this one's coming to you late. Again, part of all that unforeseen things, but we're bringing it to you. So sit back, enjoy, and have a fucking happy new year. There.
Sweet.
Now it's recording.
Cool.
Think you can do that? Set it up again?
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll stop whittling here.
Whittle.
Not really whittling. I'm shaving with my 1-inch chisel.
Whittling Willie there. So, how'd you hurt yourself yesterday?
Holy fuck, dude. I was trying to be awesome, pretty much, and it ended up being awesome.
Okay.
Yeah. No, so there's this, an amazing hill. I don't know, you know the hill I'm talking about. It's it's not like the biggest fucking hill you've ever seen in your life, but it's super steep.
Steeper than Sugar House.
Oh yeah, way steeper than Sugar House, and way longer too.
Yeah.
It's about 300 feet,
okay.
I would say, right around there. Would you agree with that? Maybe a little bit more.
Yeah.
But it's decent, and it's like way steep. And they built it here and put grass over it specifically for sledding.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's why they left it there. Because you can't build in where it is, so they can either make it a retaining wall or make it usable, right?
Yeah, why not make it usable?
Yeah, make it usable. So if people don't live in this climate, they wouldn't understand this. But after it snows for a long time and people sled on a hill, and then like last day it heats up to about 40, and then instantly goes to about 20 at night.
So you get ice.
You get fucking solid ice. So we drive by the hill and we realize it's solid fucking ice. And we wanted to go sledding.
That was your first mistake.
What?
All of it.
So, all of it.
Why would you want to sled on ice? That's just not a smart idea. You don't have any traction. Like, snow gives you at least a little bit of, like, you sink into it.
Yeah.
Ice, you can slide all over the fucking place.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
Totally. So I'm like, let's go grab our sled. But I only have a cheap little plastic sled. So there's like nothing basically between you and the ice.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, let me go grab my gloves. And she goes, I don't have gloves. You don't get gloves. And so instead of me thinking, we should both grab gloves, I go, you're right. Fuck it. Let's go.
You let her talk you into it.
Well, because before she was like, shouldn't we get into like snow clothes? I'm like, we're only going to go once. Don't worry about it. It'll be quick. And so she's like, no, we're not in snow clothes. We don't get gloves.
Okay.
I'm like, fair enough. Let's do this. So we drive over to the top of the hill and it's instantly walk out there. And I realize there's no way I'm walking back up this hill. Like it'd be physically impossible.
Yeah.
Without spikes. And so I call Cal. She's in the car. She's like, I ain't getting out of the fucking car. It's 8 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
Also, if you don't live here, you don't know. 8 o'clock at night,
it's dark.
It's dark as shit. Like, sun's been down for 2 hours at least.
Yeah, it gets dark early here.
Yeah, and so I told her to drive to the bottom of the hill. So she drives to the bottom of the hill. We sit in the sled, and we went down. Yeah.
How fast you guys get going?
So there's one street light that casts a light across the hill, and Callie said that as she saw us go through that light, it was faster than her blinking.
What?
I don't know exactly how fast we were going, but I've been outside like riding bikes and doing other things, and it was well over 30 miles an hour.
Wow.
Like at least.
That's
Like
a little bit dangerous. No helmets.
Yeah, so the first thought I had as soon as we started going down the hill was, why the fuck are we not wearing helmets? And then, holy fuck, we're going to go to the hospital. Like, that was like the first two instant thoughts. Like, like, I had no doubt that this was the biggest mistake I made. And I'm like, I'm holding a 7-year-old in my lap. Like, I can't fucking, there's no way of stopping.
Yeah.
Like, it's just fucking hold on and go.
Yeah.
And so I held on to her with my one arm and then tried to stabilize the best I fucking could with my other hand, not even realizing what that was doing to my other hand. You know, one, going amazingly fast down this hill, but then having the ice so fucking cold and then my bare hand on it. And so we're going down, and about 3/4 of the way down, we hit a really big bump. The whole thing was bumpy. This is not fucking smooth.
Yeah.
Because it's bumpy from everyone walking up it.
Yeah.
So it has every foot bump in it and then melt and frozen. So it's like
just bump, 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 bump.
Just imagine like a cobblestone road. That's this fucking hill, basically. But they hit a big bump, and we bumped up a couple of inches, and the sled took off one way. And when I came back down, I was not on the sled. So I crash down and I hold on to her more tightly and just finish sliding another like 75 feet, 75 feet off the sled.
She had a good time.
Oh, yeah. We get to the end and we stop, and she's freaked out because she's like, holy shit. Right? She's like, that was the worst idea ever. I'm like, are you okay? She's like, yeah, I'm in the most fucking pain like I can remember being in as an adult. Like,
awesome.
I barely got up and walked to the car, and she's like, Dad, that was like a terrible idea. And I was like, yeah, but here's the thing. We did it. She's like, yeah, that was fucking awesome.
Did you get the sled back?
Yeah, we got the sled back.
Was it broken?
No.
Wow.
I'm actually surprised it wasn't broken.
Yeah.
If we had an inflatable sled, been fine. It would have just been fun and fine. But since it was not it would have been fast, but the bumpy and everything wouldn't have hurt. Like
but you probably might have fallen off of it still.
No, I think I could hold on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You would have felt safe.
Yeah, because you lay down on them. You don't like sit upright, so you don't have the top heaviness.
Yeah.
So to give you an idea of how bad it hurts, I got the feeling back in my hand this morning.
Okay.
Finally. So I got ice burns on my hand and my arm. So all night last night, I had my hand wrapped in a heating pad, trying to reheat the tissue back up and getting blood flow back into it. My ring finger, the pad, still is a little numb and tingly.
Oh, man.
But my arm got a little bit cut up. That's through a thermal shirt, a sweater, and my coat. By trying to stabilize it. And then my shoulder blade, my butt cheek, and my actual, like right on the tailbone, the coccyx, like right the big, is all bruised, like pretty bad.
Yeah, I've gone ice blocking before, and that's worst I've done.
Yeah.
And you go fast on ice.
Yeah. Ice blocking is fucking fast.
Yeah, it's dangerous. You shouldn't do it.
Faster than that.
Yeah.
I'm not even joking.
Yeah.
Like, it was the dumbest thing I've done as an adult, and the awesomest thing I've done.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Sounds like fun to me.
I would do it again.
I would do it in inner tube.
Yeah. No, totally.
Yeah.
But even looking back on it, I don't think there was the worst decision. I should have had a helmet on. At least for my daughter. Should have had a helmet on.
Snowboard. That's the worst.
Oh God, you're so top heavy.
Yeah.
Because you can't carve, you can't do anything.
Yeah, that's the worst.
Yeah.
And you're trying to break, and you're just like, you
can't do anything.
I think that's one of the ways that I hurt myself. I was trying to go down stairs on a snowboard when I was dumb as a kid. Like the stairs at Copper Hills.
But those weren't even that instance. It wasn't even a real snowboard. It was like one of those cheap, shitty things from
that one,
a supermarket or something, right?
Sure. But I've actually hit ice on a real snowboard too. It's not any easier to stop. But
no, yeah.
But on this incident, I was just what's the stairs at Copper Hills? How the ones that lead into the stadium?
Oh shit, yeah.
How many stairs do you think that is? Like probably like
fuck.
Yeah.
I don't even know. It's been so long. I can just picture it in my head.
I decided to go down those stairs on a snowboard.
It's a decent amount of stairs, let's put it that way.
More than probably like 30 or more.
It's between 20 and 30 or so,
yeah,
I'd say.
Something like that.
Yeah.
And there's railings on either side. And when I was going
Were you
down,
trying to hold on to the railings?
No. I just was going down it. I thought I could do it. And
you got down.
I did get down. And when I woke up, my board was broken in half and my balls hurt really bad, and so did the back of my head. So the only logical conclusion I got was that I hit one of the side railing bars and broke my board in half and
smacked your balls.
Hit me in the nuts, and I hit my head on another bar.
God,
I busted my kneecap doing that.
I'll be honest with you, like I'm really shocked I didn't break a bone last night.
Yeah,
like honestly shocked.
Yeah.
Like I'm laying at the bottom because I couldn't get up for a minute.
Yeah,
and I was laying at the bottom thinking, "Fuck, I don't have health insurance." Like that was like,
yeah, you gotta think. I can start doing that beginning in January.
Fuck yeah! Woo! Yeah, but then again, I saw. Did you see the guy on Reddit who posted his appendicitis bill?
No.
He's like, I just want everyone to realize when we talk in America about like how shitty like the whole system is here. He goes, I have health insurance, so let me show you like how fucked up this is. 21 years old, going bankrupt because of it.
Really?
And he has insurance. Right?
Wow.
So he had appendicitis and he had an emergency appendix removed. Right. Okay. And the actual surgery cost $55,000. Wow. Right? That's just what the actual total bill was. And that's just the hospital bill. There's, as you know, when you get medical bills, you get billed for every little thing separately. So like, that doesn't include like anesthesiologist. That doesn't include like the other things. So the basic bill for the surgery was $55,000. His insurance covered it, but he still had $11,000 after that.
Really?
Yeah, which is normal.
Wow.
Yeah. So
what was his not the premium, that
had to do with like it maxed out his deductible.
He had shitty insurance.
No, actually he didn't.
No?
He had normal insurance. It was 80-20 plan. Like so he like it maxed out.
What's his max out of pocket?
His
11?
max so his I don't know about max out of pocket, but his deductible was a $5,000 deductible, which is pretty fucking common.
Yeah.
And that's before any coverage takes place.
Yeah.
Right? So, and I think most of those plans have between a $5,000 and a $10,000 maximum out of pocket. Well, that's after your deductible. Okay. So if he had a minimum of $5,000, that still puts him at $10,000.
That makes sense. Yeah, totally.
You know?
Yeah, that sucks.
That's one fucking thing.
That's an appendix.
Yeah.
I had my appendix. My appendix was a nightmare. Like, my insurance changed. It was the 31st. It was New Year's Eve that I went in for my appendix.
Yeah.
And then my insurance changed while I was in the hospital.
Fuck.
That was just a nightmare and a half.
I remember this is when I realized how bullshit our whole system was, is when I shattered my collarbone. I was with my boss at the time, and I don't fucking know anything. You know, I'm like 17, 18.
Yeah.
And I don't know anything about like insurance and like which hospitals take what insurance. I don't, fucking concern myself with that.
Yeah.
And so he drives me to the hospital, right? And we drive to the nearest hospital. And apparently I had the wrong insurance for that hospital, and they said, we can't treat you. We don't take your insurance. You need to go to this hospital that's 5 miles away. And I'm like, I have like a fucking broken collarbone. This is after they found out that I'd already shattered it in 7 places. And they're like, we're not going to treat you.
Wow.
Fucking kicked me out because it wasn't life-threatening. And I had to go to another hospital.
Yeah, our insurance is a joke.
And then the insurance fought about paying for the initial x-rays at that first hospital. They're like, you went to the wrong hospital. I'm like, fuck you. Like, this is ridiculous. Like, it was a huge fight. That's when I first realized, when they're like, you have to leave. I'm like, I get I'm not going to die. Like, I totally get this isn't going to kill me right now. But if you don't fix this, I could possibly never use my left arm again.
Yeah.
Like, if we don't make sure, like, this shit is done right, like...
Yep. I just, our healthcare is...
It's a fucking joke.
It is. Mari is just grasping that all. Even in Colombia.
Yeah, people don't get how big of a fucking joke it really is.
Yeah.
It's all because it's for profit. Like,
hers is great. She has insurance, but their insurance works quite differently than ours.
Yeah.
You pay a set amount of money each month or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
$10-15. And you can go to the hospital as many times as you want.
See, what's really funny is my grandpa had, I want to say it was either his appendix or his gallbladder. I can't remember.
Yeah.
But he had emergency surgery when he was in Peru, right?
Yeah.
And he was like so fucking worried about how much it was going to cost him.
Yeah.
That he almost chartered a plane to fly back to the U.S. because he thought it would cost him an outrageous amount.
Yeah.
And then when he finds out, it was 100% covered. It was
Really?
free. He's like, I'm not even a citizen, and it was fucking free.
In Peru.
And it was in Peru. It might have been another country.
I think
it might have been. It was a country in South America. I know that's where they spent most of the time.
I think I had to get like a medical checkup while I was in Peru, for some sort of like ID that I needed.
Yeah,
cost me $5.
Yeah, since it was an emergency surgery or something. They just did it all. It cost him nothing.
Oh, wait, no, it cost me 5 soles, which is like a buck.
It might have been something like that to him. Again, him if he said it, he wouldn't even brought that up.
Yeah,
or he might not even know. My grandma might just been what here, like
yeah.
But yeah, and then when he came back to the U.S., he went directly to his doctor because he thought that maybe they did a fucking terrible job, basically.
Yeah.
And he's like, no, they did a better job than they did just world class healthcare. Like, nothing to worry about. That really shocked him.
There's nothing
like he really thought that it would have been shitty, it would have been terrible, and no, it saved his life, and it didn't cost him anything, and he doesn't even pay taxes in that fucking place.
Yeah, because people's lives. Well, okay, people's lives are different, but when somebody dies, it's not as important as somebody's dying. I guess you could say.
What do you mean?
When I was in Peru,
how they treat their dying?
How they treat their dying? Yeah, you don't want somebody to die, but once somebody's dead, they're dead. And
yeah,
so you just throw a newspaper over them until somebody picks them up in a couple days.
I'm okay with that, except for the disease aspect.
It was weird. I walked past dead people. It was weird.
That's a little strange to me, but
like stepping over somebody who's just dead.
What I think is funny is people argue that well, if universal healthcare, then you have to wait in line for service, right?
Yeah, right.
But
we have to wait.
We have to wait in line now.
Yeah, I like that. Like, there's billboards on the sides of the road promoting how fast that.
No, this is what I get. There's billboards saying pre-check into the ER before you get here on your iPhone or on your tablet.
Yeah,
pre-fucking check in.
Yeah, because then you're good to go.
Then you're good to go. Then you don't have to wait in line as long.
I think it's just hilarious that you see all those signs, and they're just they're always different, and they have the actual updated times.
Yeah.
And it's kind of to prove a point that when you want to go somewhere, you'll go to that hospital. Yeah. But it's still,
except when you drive by and you're like, it
says 7.
It's maxed out at
it says 99 on it. That's as high as it.
That's as high as it goes. So you're saying it's more than an hour and a half here?
Yeah. Sometimes you see 6 and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Which is, it's still funny that
I've never been to an emergency room. Oh, I should say
taken 6.
That's not true. When I was brought in on fire, I was taken right in.
Well, that's understandable.
Yeah. No, I'm not saying it's not. I'm just that there was no wait. It was honestly brought in, immediately had doctors, and that's probably why the other people have to wait. But then again, there's mostly the wait because people use the emergency room as their primary care doctor because they can't afford real doctors.
Yeah, which ends up costing them way more money.
Yeah,
it's just ridiculous.
The whole fucking thing is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Let alone how much they're allowed to fucking charge for their services.
I've gone to the emergency room multiple times because I am a stupid kid and I usually get hurt.
Yeah.
And I've been there. my arm's hanging in half. And somebody comes in and they're grabbing their heart and they rush them back there. I understand that.
Totally.
And that's how healthcare would work even with universal healthcare.
Yeah.
Somebody comes in and they're dying. They're going to get treated first.
Yeah. They should.
They should. And I don't mind having to wait, even if my arm's broken, if it can wait when somebody's life can be saved. Yeah.
I cannot grasp the concept of people profiting off of the sickness of others.
Yeah.
And that's what healthcare is.
That's what insurance is.
Yeah.
Insurance is just crazy.
It's the biggest fucking scam in the world.
It needs to improve, and Obamacare didn't fix anything.
I mean, I don't think the Affordable Care Act is the answer by any means, but I mean, some of the things I think are a little bit better. I think it's better to,
It's better to have people
not
insured.
Yeah, I think it's better to have people insured and not eliminating people for pre-existing conditions.
Mhm.
But it's not fucking close enough.
No.
Like, the fight is not fucking even close.
Mm-mm.
Like,
I'm fortunate enough to be able to afford health insurance. Like
yeah.
My company's pretty cool, and they pay 75% of my insurance.
The actual cost, yeah.
Which not everyone does that.
No, they don't.
And so if I had to pay the actual rate that my insurance costs, I couldn't afford it.
Couldn't afford it at all.
No, I think it's like $300, $400, $500 a month at standard.
And that's not
rate.
even using it.
That's not using it. That's just having it.
Mm-hmm. It's the biggest fucking scam in the world.
Uh-huh.
Like, I don't get why. It literally makes no sense to me why people are against it. It's so. There's not one person I've ever talked to who doesn't know of a negative story dealing with healthcare costs and health insurance. It's fucking touched everyone.
And just like people who aren't familiar, like some of the stories that you might hear are like somebody goes to. You have to go to a place that's covered by your insurance.
Yeah.
And if you want to be covered by more places, you have to pay more money.
Yeah.
And so you go to a hospital that's covered by your insurance, but the doctor there might not be,
Mm-hmm.
and they don't tell you that, and then you come back with a bill that is skyrocketed because your insurance doesn't cover that doctor, but it covers the hospital.
Or a doctor will give you treatment
Uh-huh.
that ends up not being covered, and there's alternative treatments you have no idea about.
Yeah.
Well, you're fucked. It's already happened.
Or the lab aide who does the analysis of your blood samples might not be covered by your insurance.
The other biggest thing that is fucking insane to me is the pay per service, which means that every fucking little thing that happens when you're seeing a doctor in a hospital is billed separately, right? So if you go in there for an appendicitis, it's not like, here's how much an appendicitis costs.
Yeah.
Right? It's every fucking individual step. So like, if you go in there and they don't know what's wrong with you, and they run 3 tests, that's 3 separate bills. But if they run 7 tests, that's 7 different bills, right? But that doctor's getting paid for each one of those. Is making more money for each one of those. It incentivizes doing more work.
Yeah.
Right? So it's not like doctors get an hourly, like, it's pay per service.
Yep.
Like most people don't realize this. Like the vast majority of even like ER doctors are independent contractors. And because that's how they get paid. They get paid by the services they render.
Not to say
not
that
the hours that they necessarily work.
There aren't a lot of doctors that would just solve the problem immediately. But if they're incentivizing that kind of behavior, there's going to be the doctor who...
And I'm not even saying like a lot of doctors do it on purpose.
No.
Right? And then you also have the aspect that
it might be this or it might be that. It might be 90% going to be this, but there's a 10% chance.
There's a 10% chance
so
I'm going to do this.
Yeah.
And that's because of the malpractice insurance that goes along with it. Right? Like... the whole thing's a fucking joke. The entire fucking thing is a joke. Let alone how much doctors actually make. Like, don't get me wrong. Doctors should make a decent living. We should incentivize someone going into that field. I totally agree with that.
Yeah. People's health is important.
Yeah, totally. So the amount of time that they have to sacrifice to get to that level of that knowledge and that expertise, it should be incentivized to encourage people to do that. Right? But, a basic doctor starting out making almost $500,000 a year. Like, really? I don't know. Like, that just seems like a little fucking greedy to me.
Yeah.
Like if you're really in it for saving people's lives, and wouldn't you settle for, I don't know,
$200,000
a year? Like that still puts you like in the top 1%.
Yeah.
Like I don't. Actually, I think 300 is the cutoff, but I can't remember. Yeah, that still puts you in the top 2%. Like, it seems fucking ridiculous to me.
It's because they had to go for 12 years.
And it's funny is I have family who's a doctor. Yeah, it's a fucking joke.
I have dentists in my family.
Yeah.
Paging Dr. Douchebag.
It is so fucking. It's funny. The doctor in my family, he's an ER doctor. He hates insurance company as much as we do.
Yeah,
like full on. He doesn't like the Affordable Care Act, but it's not because that he thinks it's more socialist. He really agrees more with a single payer system.
I'm having an issue right now with my dentist. My dentist, I feel like they're a crook.
Oh, and I should say the AMA, the American Medical Association, does agree with the single payer system, at least to the best of my knowledge. At least they did at one point.
Really?
Yeah. Which is like the union for doctors.
Weird.
Mm-hmm.
I'm dealing with. I went to the dentist. I was trying to use up the last of my dental insurance before it expired.
Yeah.
And they said I had about $1,000 left for use, and so I asked them to double check that, and I got $1,000 worth of work done.
Yeah.
Like I got a new crown and something else that I needed. And then they ended up charging me. They charged the insurance and then came back to me and said that I still owed them another. I had to pay them $500 up front after the work was done, and then Then they just contacted me again, and told me that I owed them another $500. I guess that my insurance wasn't covering the crown or something, even though they said that they would. I don't know. It's fucking a joke. The whole thing.
God, I hate all of that stuff so much.
I had them call when I was at the dentist to clarify whether or not they would do it.
The problem is like it doesn't matter.
No, it doesn't matter because the work's done, and
yeah,
they didn't have any paper evidence of it.
Ugh. And as a consumer, you have no recourse against the dentist.
No, but I
whatsoever.
think my dentist is just as scummy. I think they schedule appointments without your knowledge, and then they send you a postcard in the mail telling you that you have an appointment and that you have 24-hour notice to cancel.
And then they bill you if you don't.
If you don't show up, then they cancel.
Yeah.
And I told them I don't want to be their client anymore, but they keep sending me appointments.
Fuck them.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had a huge blowout with one of his dentists.
That was a joke.
Yeah. It was a complete joke. She went in for some dental work, where they needed to sedate her, and she had an allergic reaction to sedation, and so they couldn't do the dental work. Right? They turn around and billed us for all the dental work. I'm like, that's a fucking joke. Like, we'll pay for the sedation and the office visit, but you didn't do the actual work. I'm not fucking paying for it.
Yeah.
And they ended up suing us, and then saying they couldn't. Like, this is what's really fucked up about it. They listed our address wrong in the court documents. And so when we were subpoenaed, we couldn't get subpoenaed because it was the wrong address. So they went and filed a motion anyways and said they had enough evidence that a judge ruled on it. A judge ruled on it, and then they instantly went and filed with the, what do they call it? The what's the fucking the constable?
Credit union?
Or they instantly filed with the constable
constable.
to revoke our property.
The fuck?
And we had no idea there was even a lawsuit because they listed the wrong address on purpose. Yeah. Well, at least I assume on purpose. They're fucking scumbags.
Yeah, they know what they're doing.
Yeah, they know exactly. And it all happened within like 42 days.
Yeah.
So like it went from, I'm talking about from the time they filed the suit to the time that they went to the constable's 42 days.
Yeah.
So it went from, they filed the lawsuit, they had to wait the 30 days from the file, went through the lawsuit, instantly went to the constable and pulled it through.
So fucked up.
And then finally the constable found our actual address and said that they were going to come and start auctioning off our property to pay this bill. I'm like, what fucking bill? Like, it was a joke. It was a huge.
You had to end up
joke.
paying it still.
Yeah, we ended up paying it.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Well, he wouldn't see her anymore either.
I wouldn't take him to her.
Yeah.
Like, we stopped going at that point because he was an asshole at that visit.
What did he do?
He started like yelling, saying, you need to restrain her. Okay, so to let you know, like, what it is, there's a certain type of oral sedation that has the reverse effect on about 10% of the people. Yeah. So instead of sedating, it's like giving someone adrenaline and testosterone and steroids. Okay. Right. So it makes them super violent, super, they can't control themselves at all. Yeah. Really. And she's one of those kids. It has like, Benadryl. Yeah. You know how like in some people it makes them like super excited and not tired? Yeah. It's the same people. She's one of those too. Okay. Right. It's the same drug family. Okay. And so they give her the medicine. She has this reaction to it,
Mm-hmm.
and she's just like, all of a sudden she's like as strong as like 10 men and you can't restrain her, and she's super violent. And he was just a fucking asshole about it.
Yeah.
Like instead of being like, oh, she's one of that, this is what we have to do instead. Or, he was just like yelling at her and and she tried to actually continue with it and tried to restrain it, holding her down and restrain her and prying her mouth open. So like, this is just fucking ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you talk to Tyler about it?
What?
Did you talk to Tyler about it?
No, it wasn't. Yeah. No, we never did.
No.
No.
I wonder if he probably does the same thing.
I don't know. He might. But ironically, it was one of my dad's acquaintances.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
What'd your dad say?
When we got the notice of the lawsuit, the guy is actually a stake president here.
Oh, really?
And I went off on him, off on my dad, and I'm like, "Fuck you and your Mormon pieces of shit! This is the shit you guys do. Like, you say you fucking care about people, but no, you're fucking like taking everything away. I'm like, he's a fucking scumbag. He's a thief. He's a liar. This is what he's did." And my dad's like, "I can't imagine that." I'm like, "Yeah, that's because you're just fucking like him, you piece of shit." I just went off.
Oh, that wasn't called for, Jeremy.
No, totally not called for. So if he didn't know I hated Mormons at that point, then he quickly learned I did. And this is honestly what happened. My dad's like, "Well, I'm sorry. I'll pay for the bill if you want me to." I'm like, "No, fuck that. I'm not gonna have you pay this fucking bill. Like, that's ridiculous." So he actually called him, and this is exactly what he said. He goes, "I don't deal with billing at all." It's like, "I don't want to deal with billing at all." It's like, I pay someone to deal with it, and they're sharks, and that's why I pay them to do their job. My dad's like, "So you won't even look into it?" He's like, "Nope."
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, they are sharks.
Yeah. And
that's how they make all their money. And they get a cut of that, I'm sure.
Yeah. So basically how it works is, he turns it over to the agency. They take care of it. They get a percentage of it. So they're going to do whatever it takes to get that percentage as quickly as possible, which is what they did.
Yep.
Yeah. Which I don't have the resources or the time to fight.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Yeah. Anywho, I was turned off on a little tirade.
Yeah. Well, that's what I liked about like the Occupy movement. A lot of people were fighting for like our student loan system's just the same way. It's just as fucked up. You take out a loan and you're fucked for life.
Education should be free.
Yeah.
You want an educated society. Like, that's why we have quote unquote public schools, right?
Yeah.
It betters everyone to have people more educated.
Yeah.
Well, why should the education stop at 12th grade?
Before anybody even specializes in anything.
Exactly. Like a 12th grade education now is the same as like, an elementary school education 50 years ago.
Yeah, it's absolutely nothing. It's good to have a high school diploma if you want to work in fast food.
You have to work at McDonald's.
Yeah, you can't work most places now without a GED or a diploma, and so it's good to have one. You're still getting minimum wage in most cases. The most you're going to be seeing is like a $10 range probably on most of those people. Unless
you might get lucky and hit to the 12.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
And which is good for a lot
and
of people,
obviously, depending where you live, that's going to vary a little bit more.
Yeah.
But high school education is just not enough. It's not enough to raise your family on. There's so much more at play than just the education. I understand that.
Yeah.
But, I think that's, one of the root causes.
I mean, right now, I lost my financial aid because the school decided to change the rules on me halfway through. It was ridiculous. There was actually everybody in my class, maybe a handful went and they protested it and stuff. But
I think education has the highest percentage increases above inflation of any other sector. I think healthcare is 2 or 3. Like, education has skyrocketed so fucking much.
My school's doing about a 3% raise every year.
It's a fucking joke.
Yeah, and
incomes don't go up that much.
No, and I'm definitely losing my financial aid. I'm having to pay that all pocket, but I'm gonna finish it because I'm halfway or more than halfway done. I need to finish it.
Yeah, it's good to finish.
But like just all of it's fucked up. And that's not even student loans. That's just the school itself.
Yeah.
And the schools are the same. They're in it for profit.
They are.
They're all for profits as well.
It's ridiculous how much money like even community colleges cost.
And that's what I'm at. I'm at a community college.
Yeah. It's fucking mind-boggling
And then
how much it really is.
Double or triple or quadruple it for...
I know the University of Utah, when I was in school, was about $5,000 a semester.
Yeah. It's way more than that.
Yeah. So you're looking at, 2 semesters a year. That's $10,000 a year. That was 12 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Plus books, plus expenses, plus everything else. It's a fucking joke.
Yeah, it's usually, I think it's about double what the community college is.
Yeah.
Here.
I think the University of Utah right now is $9,000 a semester now.
Yeah.
Maybe $10,000 a semester now.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
It's right around there.
Still, that's a ridiculous amount of money.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's.
I don't even know what to say about, but yes,
yes,
it is.
And then most people coming out don't even go into their respected industry.
No,
it's funny.
I honestly don't know anyone who is actually working in the industry that they got their degree in.
Me?
You don't have your degree yet.
Well,
you don't count, fucker.
When I do. At the same time, mine's media design technology, so I have programming background as well, but I'm not doing any programming.
And you're on the fringe of that. Yeah, so you'd be on the fringe of what yours actually is.
Yeah. It's graphic design and programming. So.
Yeah. But you know that. Most don't.
No.
Especially when you get into like your actual I guess engineers. Mm-hmm. I've heard engineers are having a harder time now.
Yeah.
Unless you're a petroleum engineer.
Scott, my cousin, he's in with what his degree was.
He's not a petroleum, he's an electrical, right?
He's robotics.
Yeah, I think he's an electrical engineer.
But I think people hire him to go down pipes and stuff. Like he sends robots down pipes and stuff like that.
Yeah. The highest paying job, the highest paying degree, right, a bachelor's out of college is a petroleum engineer.
Yeah. Is it dangerous too?
A petroleum engineer?
Yeah.
No.
Because I know
there's just a huge demand for it right now because as of this week, I don't know if you know this, the U.S. is now the largest driller of oil in the world.
Wow.
Yeah. So there's a large demand for it. Plus, you have to live in shitty places because of it.
Yeah. Did you hear that? Did you hear the Bitcoins lost all their value?
Not all. I heard they lost half their value when China said they couldn't use it.
Yeah, it's kind of depressing on the Bitcoin subreddit.
No, it's not. That's how bubbles work. That's how basic economies work.
What's depressing is that on the Bitcoin subreddit, there was a sticky top post was a suicide helpline. It's like, it's just money.
Oh, yeah.
It's like,
what's it? What
people
is
invested all their money into it. It's fucking...
What is a Bitcoin at right now?
It was at 1,000, I think.
I know it lost about half its value when China said they weren't going to allow it.
Let's see.
I don't like Bitcoin for a bunch of reasons.
Why?
Yeah, sorry, I just kind of left that hanging, didn't I?
Yeah.
Fuck. Why does the GX, is it gx.com?
Oh, last. I think
that's not right.
Yeah.
Is it? So it's at 767?
Look, let's try a different exchange rate.
Yeah. This one's saying 730.
Looks like it's gone up a little bit since it's gone down.
The reason that I don't like Bitcoins is that is the same reason that other people do like Bitcoins, is that there'll never be more Bitcoins, right?
Mm-hmm. That's why libertarians like it.
Yeah, right. So what that does is creates its own high class, right?
Yeah.
So it's setting up its own class system.
Yeah.
Like it is built that way. So why start out with a utopian system that's built off a class system?
Yeah, I don't like it for that, but I like it for its anonymous value.
I mean, there's good things about it.
I think the fact that it's
I don't like the fact that not everyone can partake in it. That you have to be a part of an elite society to even get to it, because you have to have an electronic device for one, that can memorize the code for it, right? Then you have to have another means of extrapolating that code. So, you already have to have a certain level of wealth in another form to even be able to start moving into this other form. The fuck was that?
It'd be funny if it was our guest.
Nope. It was probably just something signing on or something. Or signing off. Oh, Donna's on.
And Janae's on.
Oh, she sent us a message I never responded to.
Donna did?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. She finally started using her Twitter. Yeah. I don't know, though. I think it's cool.
The thing I do like about Bitcoin is that it is showing that our
decentralized
that our current economic system is fake.
Yeah.
Because it was made out of thin air. It has no backing. It has nothing. It's fucking fake. The entire thing is fake.
And it scares people. That's why China dropped out.
But everything is fake. That our entire monetary system is fake.
Yeah, so, it's all a joke.
Yeah, I like that aspect.
When you and then that all ties together with everything. A lot of crimes are committed in the name of money.
I think the vast, almost all. I would argue.
I mean, people do shady things for money, and money is in itself just an illusion. So.
It is.
What's really weird for me, it trips me out the most is that I think almost now it's even becoming more popular, but more of our currency is digitalized now than any.
It's like 80%, isn't it?
Yeah, it's all in banks and stuff, and they're just numbers on computers. Yeah. So it's really just nothing now.
It is.
You're sending each other
data.
And it'll get to a point. Well, I could see that's what Bitcoins are. It's all just digital. It's really nothing. It has no value.
It has no value.
It's weird to think about. It's
yeah.
Most things were had a backing to them, like gold backing or something like that. But
so I heard an economist try to explain it one time as that money is the amount of labor that you have put into the current system, right? And so it's basically saying, well, in society, I've put in this much work, so I can receive this much out of this society.
Yeah.
But that to me is the biggest fucking joke ever, because some of the richest people in the world don't put in any labor.
Yeah, without a doubt.
And so that's why I fucking hate capitalism. What I want is a market-based system that's not capitalist. And I don't know how you do that. Because I like the idea of people creating things. I like the idea of people trading things. I think the idea, this has been bothering me for a while. The idea that capitalism is 100% evil, I think is wrong. I think it's inherently evil, but I think for a select few, it's brought great things, right? Now, I want to know is how do you get rid of that capitalist system and bring the goodness that it created for someone like me to everyone else in the world? Because without capitalism, I wouldn't be able to have this computer. I wouldn't be able to have this house. I wouldn't be able to have my car. I wouldn't be able to have clean running water. I wouldn't be able to have heat, right?
I would disagree with something.
No, I'm just saying that's what brought it to my life now.
Yeah.
Right? So I want to know, how do we get rid of capitalism and bring everything that I find comfortable in life and give it to everyone else?
I think I see.
I don't think you need capitalism to get it. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying that it has brought some good to a very select minority, right?
Yeah.
Well,
I'm seeing a lot more things lately. Doing away with we looked at that Kung Fury thing.
Yeah.
And they're going to be giving that away to people. They're just going to have it online for free because that's what they do.
Yeah.
They enjoy doing it. And then the community got around and funded it.
Yeah.
And that's why I think crowdsourcing is also pretty cool, because, we're putting our goods towards something.
The hard thing about crowdsourcing is that it's an egalitarian system working inside of an egalitarian system. Right?
Yeah.
You can't go into a rural village in Bangladesh and say, why the fuck don't you crowdsource your farm?
Yeah.
It doesn't fucking work.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because
people have to have something to
They don't
give
already
back.
have the wealth to
Yeah,
give.
no, for sure.
So my question is
tough.
Is how do you get that? So like the idea that we have a capitalist system has created jobs in our current society, right? And let's eliminate the aspect of like the inequality of labor and the inequality of the system that we currently live in the United States, right? But like the vast majority of people can have a job and have a place to live in the United States.
Yeah.
Right? I think you'd agree with that.
Yeah.
Right? Well, what about when you go like take say a rural area of Bangladesh, you know, because of capitalism, they don't have that.
Yeah.
Right? So they don't have the luxuries that we are now afforded to live because of that, right? But then again, as an anarchist, you turn around and say, well, we shouldn't force capitalism on them, so we'll live in our little world that has all these luxuries and fight capitalism. Fuck them.
Yeah.
That's what bothers me. I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah, no.
You know what I mean? So it's like, well, in our current system, what's helped us was labor, so wouldn't labor help them also and being able to unionize and organize? I'm not saying it would, but it's better than nothing, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't fucking know, but it just bothers the shit out of me.
On that note, did you know that a lot of game makers are actually they're fighting against piracy protection on their games? They don't think that.
Well, there's been a couple new studies that show that piracy actually increased the economic value of the said product.
What does?
That like piracy increases the value of a product.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So it's really interesting how the whole thing works. But basically, the more something is pirated, the more money that thing will make in general.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
It's pretty cool actually. Like this is something that I found myself doing. Right. So, let's take a prime example, like the movie Red State. Right.
Okay.
The Red State. I pirated it.
Okay.
I don't have a problem. Whatever. Even.
Kevin Smith?
Yeah, even Kevin Smith said, fuck it, just pirate it. I want people to see it. Right?
Okay.
So I pirated it. I watched it. I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Yeah.
So what do?
Went and bought it.
I bought it.
Yeah.
Right? I didn't need to buy it. I already consumed it.
Yeah.
You know, but I want that creation to continue. You know?
I think that's the idea of a lot of people. They try it before you buy it.
No, exactly. Like new bands, I'll listen to their music, and if I like them, then I'll either go and support their shows, support their merchandise, or buy new tracks from them.
Yeah.
Like, that's just it.
It's easier.
It's easy. Yeah, the try before you buy. That's really what it is. You know, we'll support what we like, and won't support what we don't like. Mm-hmm. It's fucking straightforward.
Yeah.
There was this whole huge report just a little bit ago. I can't remember the fucking name of the band. It's some like heavy metal like hair band or whatever. Mm-hmm. But they planned their entire European tour based off of where their music was being pirated the most.
Really?
Yeah. So it's being pirated heavily in a city. We're gonna go play it there.
Makes sense.
It makes sense. Like,
totally.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's an awesome way of, figuring out your demographic.
For sure.
Netflix does the same thing. Netflix uses BitTorrent data to figure out which series they should try to pick up. If a series is being pirated a lot, then they try to pick up that series to include in Netflix.
Makes sense.
It's because that's what people want. It's what people are consuming. So,
where do they get the data from?
I don't honestly know. I don't think it's. I mean, since they're all peer to peer, like you know how many times you can check how many times a file is being downloaded. Yeah. On your trackers and how many.
Well, I mean, like
seeds there are
on
and
the
how
Pirate
many...
Bay, you could see how many people are seeding and leeching.
Exactly,
and
so I know there's more information tied to each torrent.
Yeah.
I
just don't know how back end of torrents work, I guess.
Yeah, but then again, if you're part of one of those companies that monitor web traffic, you would see how many people are going to certain addresses all the time and which are constantly being seeded. Yeah. I mean, the data is there. It's not like it's hidden. Let's just be honest. The only thing that gets hidden by anyone is the end users who are downloading the data, not what the data is.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
So.
I think Pirate Bay is it's funny to me lately. Just they're going...
Well, and then to take it even one step further, if you're this whole, I'm proud of my founding fathers as an American, their entire stance was pirates. Without pirates, like the entire U.S. wouldn't have been formed. They were like, fuck these taxes. We want to make our own money, you know? Plus, the American economy wouldn't have existed the way it did without pirates being able to steal things and not pay taxes on them and resell them.
Yeah.
Sorry about that fart. It's going to be really bad. I was talking and I couldn't pinch.
Where's Pirate Bay?
We just got dead air for a second. How long? What are we at right now?
We are at.
We're at done. That's where we're at.
We're at done. Yeah.
How's that?
Sounds good.
Is that long enough and ranty enough? Let's go finish your goddamn apartment.
I know. I love you all, and I really miss you.
If you send us a nude photo, we'll give you a free month of membership.
Okay. I don't want to see anybody's nude photos, to be honest.
I don't want to see them either. Please don't send. Well,
don't.
Do. Just do. Send them to Mari at whichsidepodcast.com.
Fuck shit down.
Which Side is produced by the Which Side Media Collective.